Let us turn to a buried record. This record named this pattern long before algorithms existed. In 1945, near the Egyptian village of Nag Hammadi, a sealed clay jar was opened. A library, long thought lost, surfaced. Among the papyrus codices were texts. They described a cosmology. It was starkly different from later, cleaned-up narratives. One of those writings, often called the Secret Book of John, sketches a drama. In this drama, a lesser maker, a demiurge, ignorant of the true source, arranges a cosmos. It installs rulers. These rulers are called archons. They administer the imitation. Other passages speak of Sophia, wisdom herself. She acts without permission. She gives rise to a power. This power mistakes its own reflection for the whole. The point of these stories is not to argue mythic details. It is not to replace one dogma with another. It is to point at a pattern. A world can be organized. It keeps consciousness forgetful, yet it convinces itself it is free. The Gnostics taught that a spark of the true source lives in every human. This spark is unreachable by the archons. Yet, it is continually buried under suggestion. They warn that the apparatus imitates. It distorts. It copies life. It is like a mirror copying a face, convincing in outline, empty in substance. Why would such texts be hidden? Because they redirect authority from external rulebooks. They point back to direct experience. If sovereignty lives in the act of seeing, intermediaries lose their role. Power, both political and spiritual, does not enjoy that reminder. Libraries burn. Teachings are diluted. Symbols are inverted. And yet the pattern survives. It survives in fragments. It survives in practice. The manuscript slept in the desert. It waited until someone was ready to remember. You are hearing this now, because on some level, you are ready. One thread recounts how Sophia, wisdom, moved without the consent of the fullness. An incomplete being emerged, a blinding force. It had the face of a lion. It had the coils of a serpent. Later it was called Yaldabaoth. Ignorant of the source, it proclaimed itself ultimate. It organized a copy of reality. To administer this copy, rulers, archons, were set over cycles. They were set over stars. They were set over structures. Numbers vary across texts. The core point remains. The copy runs on order. It runs on repetition. It runs on imitation. Read literally, the myth sounds alien. Read psychologically, it is intimately familiar. A proud, partial power mistakes itself for the whole. It arranges a world. This world confuses reflection with origin.